to Kwasizabantu mission here at Schulzendal. Sounds quite German. I suppose it was a German farm before, but it's all now tribal land for many years already. But our mission here, it's called Kwasizabantu, which is a Zulu word meaning Kwa is place, Siza is help, and Bantu is people. So Kwasizabantu, a place where people are helped. We're part of a bigger mission organization down in KwaZulu-Natal. So we're just a little branch that just started up 10 years ago. The chief from this area, Chief Shongwe, he went down to that mission. Somebody took him down to our mission in Natal and he saw the development. That's a very big mission. All this that you see, these kind of products are produced there, so we're still very tiny. But he went there and saw all the development, and he came back and he asked the director of our mission, please, to start here in his area to bring development. And we came into the year 2000. He gave us this piece of land, 50 hectares, and we fenced it in, and took a few years to build some buildings and get some projects going and get the mission established here. So we've been here these 10 years. We do many things. We have a few projects on the mission. We're a self-supporting mission, so we don't go around asking for donations or anything like that. That's for two reasons. The one is that it's better, and the other reason is it teaches the people to work. You know, in Africa you have very often got this mentality that these hands are made for begging and for asking. So we believe it's better to teach them to work, and in that way you generate funds for the mission to do the work that we are doing, and it also creates employment. At the moment we employ 9 people from the village and another 30 volunteers that also get paid something every month. So it's quite a few people that benefit from the mission. And then 2 years ago, last year, the need arose for doing something for the orphans, because the rate of HIV infections in this area is extremely high. For some reason, the Swazi people are very immoral. They have no moral standard whatsoever. School girls, by the time they get to matric, some of them have had 3 babies already by the time they reach 12th grade. And that's not even frowned upon. It's actually quite normal. So if you go to the high school here, you'll find grade 10 girls pregnant, carrying babies, and because of that as well, AIDS just spreads. It just runs rampant in the area. Because of that, we have funerals every weekend. Now, to people from Europe and America, that sounds unbelievable, but in this little village, it's very rare that you don't have a funeral on a weekend. People are dying all the time. And I would say, in my experience, 95% are from AIDS. 90 to 95. The others would be a suicide or an accident or old age. But generally, young people dying before the age of 30. So, as you can think, there are many orphans and many potential orphans. So, yeah, we started the creche with the help of Golda. Last year, we just started in that little building over there. That's our church building that you see. You'll see everything later on, but we started there, and Golda then built us the lovely school building that you'll see later on. We had 40 children last year. We got 60 this year. And, yeah, we're seeing how we'll go with them into a full primary school probably, because the idea was, you know, to just have a creche, but then what do you do with them after 2 or 3 years in the creche? Do you just give them back to the situation that they come from? And we felt we cannot do that. Yeah, so that's basically a little history of the place. We work not only in this village, but all around the whole area. So we've got people not only from this village, from different villages in the area where we work. And yeah, I don't know if there are any questions or something I've forgotten, John.
Maybe just go through the sort of enterprises that you have.
Yeah, well, that's a big word for little things that we do. Enterprise as well. It gives me hope, because our mission down there started like we did here, just milking a few cows by hand. So we have a little dairy, we milk a few cows, we have a mill where we grind corn or maize for the local people. That's their staple food. They eat that 3 times a day. So they bring their own maize when they're starting to plant now after the rain, and then they harvest around about May, June. Then they bring their maize and we grind it for them. Other than that, we sell maize to them. We buy from a farmer and then we keep the maize stock here, and when they need it, like now when they don't have any of their own, we grind it for them. That's our biggest business at the moment, is the maize milling. And then we also, Golda bought us a samp mill. Now, it works together in the maize mill, but it makes samp. We'll show you. It's just a broken corn. What do you call it?
Cracked.
Yeah, it's cracked, and the husk is removed and the germ is removed, and they eat that as well. It's something that they like as well, although it's not a staple food. And then we have we're planting vegetables and tomatoes, as the Americans say it rightly. And what else? Yeah, we have a bakery, a little bakery, and that's it. Yeah, I think that's about it on our enterprises. Well, we're hoping with the vegetables that will grow into something big, because we have the land and we have water rights. We have a license to pump water out of the big dam. So with that you can do a lot, even when it's drought, then you've got the advantage of water.
And the 2 teachers you've got come from the community?
Yes, we have 2 teachers from the community, and then we have 2 other teachers. Here's one, Leandri, and the other one is there at the school at the moment, yeah.
How many people do the enterprises employ?
Well, we employ altogether 39, but that's now just on the mission and all these little enterprises and so on. Yeah, it's 39 people.
The kids, what are the age groups? From
3 to 6.
How many children do you have coming in? You said it went from 40 to 60 in a year.
Mm-hmm.
How much is your growth? How many do you expect this year?
Well, that's the thing. This coming year, because we're going to grow into a school and go to the next grade, we probably will not take an intake this year, just to balance things, that our balance is right with the different grades. And then the following year, then we'll keep taking in every year as we grow, because the building will also have to grow, and the staff will have to grow. And teachers are not so easy to get, because all our teachers are basically volunteer teachers. A teacher that teaches at a state school gets 13,000 Rand a month. Now for the black people, that's a lot of money. So you won't get them working, for a volunteer's wage, if they can earn that outside. So it's not so easy to get teachers. We need volunteer teachers who basically do it for the love of it and for the love of the children.
And then the kids, they get 2 meals?
2 meals a day, yeah. They get breakfast and then they get lunch.
And the kids, the community selects which kids that are coming in.
Yes, we have a committee it's like a liaison committee between the mission and the community, and we use them to screen the children, because there's such a huge demand, and so many want them, and so many are needy, but you'll get chances as well that want to just get their children into the school, not because it's ours, but it is the best school around. it's private, it's not state run, and they get their meals free and the tuition free.
And it's in English.
It's English, yeah.
So is there any payment required?
No, there's no payment.
Yeah, they wanted their children taught in English. That was what was so funny.
Yeah, the problem is as well with this education system in South Africa, their primary school medium of teaching is in their home language. And then they only start getting English at high school level. That's too late. They don't make it. They don't make it to university. They don't make it. You know, so what the government has done is just to drop the standard and the pass rate to make it easier for them to pass, but then they still don't know anything. So that's why we thought as well, just teach them English from creche level, and by the time they get to high school, they're miles ahead of the other children.
So when you are screening the kids, what do you look for, or what are the qualifications?
Well, firstly, of course, that they be orphans, that both parents have died.
Sorry, they don't screen kids, the community screen.
Yes. Yeah, the committee from the community, they would
Right,
screen,
I
but
got that.
obviously
What
orphans get first priority.
Right.
Sometimes you get a situation where there's a child who's got one parent, but the parent hasn't died but run away. There's very often you get cases like that where the mother had the child and just left. So she's not dead, she's gone. She doesn't want the child. So they know the people in the community. That's why we leave it to them, you see. So otherwise we would get confused. We wouldn't know what to do. So they basically, well, it must be an orphan, or the parent is not there, or a very poor home where there's just no hope for the child. The parents are maybe very sick, or situations like that.
And the orphans are being taken care of by other relatives?
Yes. Yeah. That's also a government policy, basically, that they want the children to stay with extended family, not in an orphanage home.
So how do they get here?
Well, those that are nearby, the village is right here. Some of them walk, and some of them, their guardians, people that look after them, provide transport. They hire a van or an old pickup that brings them in every day, takes them home.
What
So it's
hours
just
are they?
these here?
Are you from? Yeah, 8 o'clock till.
That's when they eat at 12:30.
Yeah, they have lunch at 12:30, and then after that they go.
Morning.
And we have to be very careful with them. We're quite strict, you know, to watch over the children, because there's been a huge problem with human trafficking in South Africa. And in this area, it sounds quite horrific, but it's a very common thing to kill people for body parts, you know, for witchcraft and for their ancestral worship. So that's a known thing in the area, and you've got to watch the children. So we make sure that when they leave, we put them in the hands of somebody, that we don't just let them go. And they've got to be brought to us and received by the teachers, because there is that danger that they can get taken, you know, because they're vulnerable and they, you know. So yeah, that's another thing one has to look at even in the future as they grow and get older. It becomes a bigger risk as well. Although it's a crime-free area. Sounds ridiculous. This area does not have a lot of crime, but that kind of thing is not looked upon really as crime in the society. You see, the witch doctor needs human body parts to make their medicine, so you know, whether they dig up a corpse from the graveyard or whether they get a live one. It's like an albino, you know, an albino black. You can ask any Swazi around here if they've ever been at a funeral of an albino, and they will tell you no. That body disappears. It's very sought after for witchcraft medicine. In Tanzania, some of you are going there, I heard, it because on the news a couple of months ago that they are protected by the police, the albinos, because they are so sought after for, as we call it, muti murder. That's for medicine murders. Yeah, so that's the real side of Africa, you know, the not so nice side.
Other than that, they're really nice people.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I don't know if there are any other questions, otherwise we can take a walk.